What is up, gamers? M107 here, and Assassin's Creed Mirage is on its way. We've actually got a release date for the game, October 12, 2023. That's about 3 months, so the hype is lining up as new details are being published by Ubisoft every couple of weeks, and each time we understand how the game is going to look like just a bit more. Today we're going to wrap this up once and for all and go over everything we know about the game so far, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So the very basic yet utterly important concept that Ubisoft has been bragging about since the day of announcement is the concept of taking Assassin's Creed back to its roots. Now, I believe most of us absolutely agree that Assassin's Creed should never have gone astray from the roots in the first place. Despite the three games, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla being decent games if not looked upon as Assassin's Creed titles, I'd rather they had never been released. That's my honest belief, but that's not the case, right? So yeah, Ubisoft promises to deliver a title that's loyal to the roots of the franchise. Keep that in mind and let's move on. Story is the fun part because man, we know a lot about it to the point where I think Ubisoft is just oversharing. It takes place in the 9th century in Baghdad, Iraq. You play as Basim, who's a talented thief and lives in a small town. In one of his missions, he messes up and ends up being a most wanted man, so in order to keep a low profile, he escapes to Baghdad where most of the events of the game take place, and he starts a new life until he somehow gets to know some people and starts a journey to become an assassin. We also know that the story is formed around Basim and his evolution as a character, where you start from scratch, make connections, and start building up a reputation until you find yourself at the top. This kind of reminds me of Assassin's Creed 3 and Connor, or maybe even Assassin's Creed Black Flag. The old school Assassin's Creed games are all about character. As Ubisoft mentioned quite a few times, Basim is going to be physically weak, and that's the biggest reason why the game is going to be so focused on stealth. Now that's great because focusing on stealth not only fits the name of Assassins perfectly, but it's actually the fundamental of the franchise. However, this physical disadvantage thing has been referred to a lot of times, and that's concerning because there is no clarification on the subject. Is it going to affect the combat to the point where you can't keep up if you get into a fight with a large group of enemies, or is it just being mentioned to centralize the fact that Assassin's Creed is going back to stealth era again? I believe we need more information on that. Apparently, we gotta expect a shorter version of Assassin's Creed compared to the previous recent titles, and god, that's great. I have legit spent plus 100 hours completing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I wouldn't say it was frustrating, at least not for me, but I have to admit there was a lot of stuff just being repeated over and over, because when you create a world as big as Odyssey's, the odds of encountering repetitive side quests and areas are just high. So Mirage is going to be smaller yet richer than previous Assassin's Creed games. We also know exactly how many hours will it take to finish the story, and that's about 15 hours, which is nice, but I guess it's going to take much more time if you want to visit every unknown location and do every side mission and open world activity that the game will definitely offer. As for the gameplay, we've got some exciting information. First of all, let's talk about parkour and movement. Ubisoft claims that we're going to have a new set of animations for parkour and we'll also have an increased movement speed since Basim is lighter and more agile. This can definitely be beneficial since every Assassin's Creed game from Syndicate to Valhalla has a slower pace when it comes to movement speed. Assassin's Creed Unity had a whole new animation design and it blew everyone's mind back in the day, so I hope something similar happens for Mirage and we finally see some old school Assassin's Creed parkour. There's a new ability called Assassin's Focus which you can use to slow down time and take out multiple enemies at the same time. To me, it's similar to Red Dead Redemption's Deadeye ability, but given the brief info we've got at the moment, it could be very different from that. As far as I'm concerned, we've never seen anything like this in an Assassin's Creed game, so I just hope Ubisoft doesn't mess it up. Using Assassin's Focus, you can also tag enemies to see them through walls and objects. There's also information on Basim's arsenal in Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's pretty much the old stuff that we see in every Assassin's Creed game. We've got hidden blades, swords, daggers, smoke bombs, darts, and throwing knives. I could not imagine an Assassin's Creed which is loyal to the roots and doesn't have a pair of hidden blades in it, so no surprises there, and the rest of the equipment are just what we were accustomed to in the past decade. Okay, now let's talk about the game world. We know a lot about it, there's a ton of information, so let's see what we got. First off, the game's featuring a world event system which makes it less boring as it generates some unexpected encounters. Again, this reminds me of Red Dead Redemption 2, and if they can develop a world event system as good as Rockstar, Baghdad's gonna be a hell of a city to explore. The map size has also been the topic of discussion since Mirage first got announced, and people were arguing on whether it should be another huge one or it's just better to stick to a compact and richer map. Some fans might like this as I do, and good news is, Mirage is going to be just as big as Unity or Syndicate. That's good news because first of all, Assassin's Creed Mirage might be the redemption that the franchise needs, and second of all, Ubisoft is finally waking up to reality and realizing what needs to be done. Just gotta wait and see how they deliver. There's also a new reputation system which has 4 different levels. The more popular and successful you become, the higher your reputation level and the game gets harder accordingly. Having higher reputation level also provides you more equipment to use. Now what remains a mystery for the time being is how exactly this new system works, but at least we know that it does exist and it affects the game for good. There will be a list of high value targets for Basim to assassinate, and what's interesting is there is no specific order to take him down. Now there has to be some sort of something to keep the player from just taking them all head on, like lacking some kind of certain tool or maybe some reputation level requirements, but the fact that you don't need to obey a certain way of doing stuff sounds promising. The old school hiding in the crowd ability is back to the series since it is promised to be more stealth focused. I don't think that's anything important, but it gives the old Assassin's Creed vibe, so it's definitely fun to have. Now moving on, there are some general information given by Ubisoft which we go over them one by one. So the game doesn't offer a modern timeline, but what does that mean exactly? Do you remember back in the day every once in a while you would have got disconnected from the wires and machines and returned to present time? Well, that's no longer the case in Mirage. Looks like there will be a small amount of that in the beginning of the game, and that's going to be it throughout the entire playthrough, which is fine by me because I felt disconnected every time we had a change of timeline. I don't know if you guys remember, but in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, it took forever to get back in the main timeline, and it was really frustrating for me. For people who want the ultimate nostalgia feeling in Assassin's Creed Mirage, there will be a visual filter that kind of changes the environment color to a bluish old Assassin's Creed style, as you can see in the picture. That does look good, right? I might actually use it. Now for pricing, as some people might wonder, the game is actually cheaper than recent Assassin's Creed titles. The standard edition is going to cost you $49.99, while there will be a deluxe edition providing the base game, a Prince of Persia outfit, and some more cosmetics, and that's going to be $59.99. And lastly, there will be a collector's edition which is expensive. Don't ask me more. And to wrap this up with good news, Ubisoft promises to increase the developers of Assassin's Creed franchise to up to 2,800 people in the near future, and that's encouraging. I look forward to see quality Assassin's Creed games just as we used to, and hopefully Mirage is going to be the start of something big. That's all we know about Assassin's Creed Mirage at the moment. Hope this video was helpful and you guys enjoyed it. If you believe there's something missing or you have any idea about Assassin's Creed Mirage or the franchise, make sure to comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Apparently it helps the video to reach out to more people. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay cool.